Chag Sameach, Happy Jerusalem Day. I was a child of 10 living in the southern U.S. on the day in 1967 that Jerusalem was reunited, and I can remember my parents, in particular my mother's, overwhelming excitement and joy that day. I'd grown up on her stories of student days in early 1950s Jerusalem, especially one night sitting atop a high wall with her boyfriend, watching the crowning of King Hussein of Jordan in the Old City that was captured by Jordan in 1948. I even have a recording of the 10-year-old voice of my late first husband during his father's sabbatical, or one of them, at Hebrew University, recording his impressions of being in the city, living on Rehov HaPalmach during the Six-Day War and the day that the city was reunited. Even for American Jewish children, the excitement, the sense that this was a momentous and unforgettable moment dominated our world. I'd like to add to our celebrations of this 50th Yom Yerushalayim by sharing my illuminations of a celebration of the Grand Second Temple City from Psalms. Now, we read Psalm 99 every Friday night during Kabbalat Shabbat, and it is grand. Here we see Psalm 99, which since the 16th century has been part of our welcoming of Shabbat. These are my illuminations from Kabbalat Shabbat, the Grand Unification. So let's review this poem. The Lord reigns, let the nations tremble. He is enthroned on the cherubim, let the earth shake. The Lord is great in Zion, exalted over all the nations. Let them acknowledge your name, great and terrible one, holy is he. And this mighty king loves justice. You established righteousness, perform justice and fairness in the house of Jacob. Exalt the Lord our God. Prostrate yourselves at his footstool, holy is he. Moses and Aaron were among his priests, Samuel among those he called upon his name. They called upon the Lord, and he would answer them. He spoke to them in a pillar of cloud. They observed his testimonies and the law that he gave to them. O Lord God, you answered them. You are a forgiving God to them, but took revenge for their misdeeds. Exalt the Lord our God. Prostrate yourselves at his holy mountain, for holy is the Lord our God. Now, the psalmist is celebrating Jerusalem, in particular the Temple Mount, as the very seat of God's immutable and unequaled grandeur and justice and law and mercy. The temple is the direct inheritor of the sanctity of the cloud with which God led us in the desert. It is God's dwelling on earth. And we remember that the Kabbalistic sphera Shekhinah, dwelling, is indeed an emanation of God. Now, in studying the Kabbalat Shabbat liturgy, I noticed that each of its psalms focuses on experiencing the Creator's glory using a different kind of sense, hearing different kinds of sound, different kinds of vision and sights. In that context, Psalm 99 seems to evoke the wondrous sense of seeing the glory of Jerusalem, and this is the sense that I attempted to capture in my paintings. At the right, you see an image of the glowing white and gold Second Temple, known as one of the wonders of the Roman world, atop its mountain, surrounded by vines of the golden bells and pomegranates that decorated the priestly robes. At left, we have an image of the Kotel, the Western Wall, as it stands today. Those scrubby little plants that you can sort of see springing out of the wall are caper plants. Now, in the Babylonian Talmud, there's a rather funny little passage that compares qualities of various plants and animals to qualities of Israel. The caper, which can survive being planted in the harshest, rockiest spots with scarce water and soil, spots like the chinks in this huge stone wall, the rabbis compare to Israel's ability to thrive with only God's unseen hand to support us. The micrographic vine work spreading through the two paintings bears the verses of Judah Halevi's beloved love song to Jerusalem, Tzion Halo Tishali, his ode to Jerusalem. Halevi's love song is a lament for lost love. And although the temple no longer stands, we can indeed gaze in awe at the beauty and power of our sacred city. We can now celebrate reunited Jerusalem. In the words of Psalm 122, Jerusalem built up, a city knit together. And forever our hearts reverberate with the psalmist's words. For the sake of my kin and friends, I pray for your well-being. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I seek your good. Shalom, and again, Chag Sameach, Happy Jerusalem Day.